Today, we're going to be continuing our mock draft series where we have the NFC South for today's video. The Panthers, the Saints, the Falcons, and the Bucks. Before we get into the video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and let's get into this mock draft. So we'll see who the first 7 teams take. So I went Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Shedeur, Mason Graham, Abdul Carter, Jahdae Barron, and Armand Membou as the first 7 picks. So Panthers are an interesting spot here at 8 because they could either go McMillan because they still do lack that number 1 receiver. But I think they have to go defense based on how bad their defense was. And 2 guys linked to the Panthers have been Mykel Williams and Jalen Walker if they go defense. And the reason I like Jalen Walker is I've heard this before from numerous people, is that the Panthers kind of need help at linebacker and at edge. And Jalen Walker does both. And kind of similar to what they had Frankie Louvu do before he left for Washington. He was a off-ball linebacker as well as he would rush the passer. They would blitz him a lot. And I think Walker could kind of do that and fill 2 needs at once somewhat for the Panthers. And it's been linked a lot. And their defense was terrible, so I think they just have to go defense. Because looking at their depth chart, their offense, their O-line's set. Their tight ends, I mean, you're not going to draft Colston Loveland probably, or Tyler. I mean, you could go Tyler Warren, but I doubt it. It's pretty much just receiver on offense that they really could use. And then defense, they did upgrade the D-line in free agency with Bobby Brown and Tershawn Wharton. But again, they could use pass rushers because it's pretty much just Wanham, Clowney, and Patrick Jones. Middle linebackers, off-ball linebackers, whatever. You got Wallace and Jewell and Roseboom who are okay. And their corners or their secondary is all right. They need some depth at secondary, but I think Jalen Walker is a great fit here because they need some linebacker help. They need some edge rusher help. He can do both. I'm going to go Jalen Walker. At 8 to the Panthers. Saints are actually up next year at 9. Looking at their depth chart, I mean, they need a QB, but without Shedeur on the board, you definitely don't go quarterback here at 9. You could go receiver. I don't hate a McMillan here with Olave and Rashid Shaheed. They brought Brandon Cooks back. Tight end, they're definitely set at tight end. Their O-line, you could use a right tackle because the Penning experiment hasn't worked. And who knows if Ryan Ramczyk is going to play for them much longer. Because you like Fuaga, who you drafted last year, but you could use a guy next to him. On defense, I like Alontae Taylor. It's an older safety room, but I don't mind Reed and Matthew. I like Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'm not too familiar with Ugo Amadi, so maybe they could go corner. You could go with like a Will Johnson here. Defensively, you definitely could go pass rusher because Chase Young, you did pay Chase Young a lot of money. Carl Granderson, I actually kind of like. You could get a 3-4 D lineman, because Cam Jordan's up there. But I don't hate their defense. They always seem to play good defense as well. I'm kind of liking McMillan here. Or a lineman. You can't go Membou, unfortunately. Will Campbell, who's more of an undersized guy, he is a left tackle. So it'll probably be like a left tackle, left guard. But you want a guy on the right side, and you're not going to go Josh Simmons here at 9. So I think it's either Mike Green or McMillan. I'm actually going to give them Tedoroya McMillan here at 9. They need somebody outside of Chris Olave. You like what Brandon Cooks can give you. You like what Rashid Shaheed can give you. But I think they need that more all-around guy next to Olave. Rashid Shaheed's more of that deep threat, and Brandon Cooks is on the older side. So he's not part of your long-term plans. So I like McMillan to build around Olave. And then maybe they get a QB in the second round. But without Shedeur on the board, because we're not doing trades in this, you're not going to go QB. So I like McMillan at 9. Falcons at 15. I mean, we could look at their depth chart, but I think they have to go pass rusher. Their offense is actually very good. They did lose Dahlman to the Bears, so they could go center. But there's no centers worth taking at whatever pick they have, 14, 15. I kind of like their receiver room with London, Mooney, McLeod, and Hodge. They obviously got Bijan and Algier, so you're good there. But their pass rush was not good. They run a 3-4. I mean, you don't hate Leonard Floyd, but that's pretty much it. Onyemata's a good D tackle, but you also lost Grady Jarrett. It has to be pass rusher, I think. They could go corner as well. They could go Will Johnson, but it has to be pass rusher in my opinion. So it's James Pierce, or Mike Green, or Mykel Williams, and I think Mykel is going to get picked very high. And he went to Georgia, Atlanta Falcons. I'll give him Mykel Williams to the Falcons at 15. Bucks at 19. Another team that offensively they're pretty set. Like their O-line's very good and young as well, with Barton and Wirfs and Gadecki and Mauch. And then outside of their O-line, their offense is pretty set for the season. It's defense they need to work on. In my opinion, mainly the corners. Jamel Dean's a solid corner. I don't hate what I saw from Zion McCollum. I think he could be decent. But I think they definitely need to upgrade that secondary. Maybe more the corners, because I like the Whitehead-Winfield duo. So I think they could use a corner here. That's been consistent with my drafts for the Bucks, as I've given them a corner. So I think we're going to do that because Will Johnson's right here. So I'm going to have the Bucks take Will Johnson out of Michigan. He's kind of fallen down the boards recently. He was very high up, but he's kind of fallen down. So to get him at 19, I think is good value. Saints are next up. We got a McMillan at 9. So looking back at their depth chart again, we thought they could go QB here, but they might be gone. I'll have to see. Could go tackle now that they're probably more in range. Or you could go with a D lineman, I guess. One of those. D lineman. So who did go here? No, the quarterbacks have not gone. So I think, yeah, Jackson Dart is right here. I'm not mad at it. Because the Saints' next pick is until 71. Jackson Dart's going to be gone. I mean, do they believe in Spencer Rattler? He showed some flashes last year, but I don't know if he showed enough. Looking at the linemen, because that could be another position they go here. You got Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State, but he's mainly a guard / tackle, but again, on the left side. You want more of a right tackle. I mean, they could transition, but probably not as easily as you think. So you're probably not going to go one of those two guys. You could go corner. You could go D lineman. You could grab a TJ Sanders. I think it's between TJ Sanders or Jackson Dart here. But I think they're going to stick with Spencer Rattler and Derek Carr. So I'm going to go TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. They need help on that D line. So, yeah. Falcons at 46. Got him Mykel Williams. This is their only other pick this draft. They only have two top 3 round picks here. Again, they do need a center to replace Drew Dahlman. Do you go Jared Wilson at 46? I don't know. I mean, if they need a corner, you got some good corners available. But I don't think they do. They got Terrell. They got Alford. I think they're fine at corner. I mean, you could just take a corner and go best player available, which I wouldn't mind that for them. And their secondary wasn't the best. And Maxwell Harrison's right here. I'm actually going to go Maxwell Harrison. Kind of a best player available pick for the Falcons. Teams tend to do that a lot. Next, we have the Bucks, who we already got them a corner, and Will Johnson. Again, they just need defense. In pass rushers, you got Princely Umanalen. Do not know how to say his name. You got Jack Sawyer, Jared Ivey, Braden Swinson. At linebacker, you could go with a Demetrius Knight. But I think you go edge here if you're Tampa Bay, because, again, you have Kalijah Kancey, you have Logan Hall, Yaya Diaby, Hassan Reddick, but he's old, and you only give him 1 year. I'll go Princely to the Bucks as that best pass rusher available, because I think that's where they should go in that spot. Panthers are next. We got them the hybrid. That is Jalen Walker. So I think you go corner or receiver here. Or you could go a true edge and get a guy like Jared Ivey. But I don't think they go Shamar Turner with the amount of money they spend on D tackle. Could get a Carolina guy. I don't know if he's from Carolina, but he went to East Carolina. So you could go Siobhan Revel if you're willing to risk on his injury. Or do you go with a guy like Jalen Royals, who will give you outside snaps next to Thielen and Leggett and Coker? I'm going to go Siobhan Revel here because, like I mentioned before, they don't really have a lot of depth because at least with receiver, they have players. They may not be the best, but they have people at receiver. They don't really have many corners. They only have 4 corners on the roster. So I'm going to go Siobhan Revel here to the Panthers at 57. Next, we have the Saints at 71, who got McMillan and TJ Sanders. So, I mean, we could go running back because Kamara, in running back terms, is old. We could go with Sanders' teammate, Demetrius Knight, get him another linebacker because it's an older Demario Davis and then Pete Werner, who I like. So I don't hate Demetrius Knight. They don't need another receiver. Yeah, I like that. Team him up with his teammate as well. Give me Demetrius Knight to the Saints at 71. Panthers at 74. Got him Jalen Walker and Siobhan Revel. And look at that. Jalen Royals is here at 74. Easy pick for me. It worked out. Who knows if Siobhan Revel would have made it? Did any team take a corner before him? I mean, you could have seen these teams take Siobhan Revel. So we ended up with both guys we wanted for the Panthers. Bucks at 84. Got him Will Johnson and Princely. Do we just keep stacking up on the defense for them? Because, again, what do they need offensively? Not really anything. I mean, maybe a receiver because Evans and Godwin are on the older side, so maybe just get somebody else. But they got McMillan and Trey Palmer, who are good young pieces. I think they go defense again here, if possible. Do you just get a D lineman to pair alongside Vita Vea? A D tackle? Do you get like a Josh Farmer or Jordan Phillips? Or do you just go best player and get a receiver and go with a Jalen Noel? I'm just going to... Oh, this is tough. I think their defense just wasn't the best. So I'm going to go Joshua Farmer out of Florida State. Keep him in state as well. Saints at 93. We got him McMillan, Sanders, and Demetrius Knight. Could go quarterback. But it says they need a running back here. So I'm going to give them RJ Harvey because it says they need running back. They need somebody next to Kamara. I'll go RJ Harvey. And that's actually the last pick of our NFC South mock draft. Quickly go over the full results here. So we got the Panthers went Jalen Walker at 8. Saints went McMillan at 9. Falcons went Michael Williams at 15. Bucks went Will Johnson at 19. Saints went TJ Sanders at 40. Falcons went Maxwell Hairston at 46. Bucks got Princely at 53. Panthers Siobhan Revel at 57. Saints Demetrius Knight at 71. Panthers Jalen Royals at 74. Bucks Joshua Farmer at 84. And then the Saints RJ Harvey at 93. And that will do it for our NFC South mock draft. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.